Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Stop for a moment and really listen to this. What if I told you the person meant for you is already written, already chosen, already on their way, but you haven't met them yet because Allah is still preparing you? Think about your life right now. The person you couldn't forget, suddenly removed. The connection you tried to fix keeps breaking. The doors you keep knocking on refuse to open, and you're sitting there wondering, why is everything falling apart? But what if nothing is falling apart? What if everything is being moved, rearranged, cleared just so the right person can enter your life at the perfect time? Because Allah does not send real love into a heart that is still attached to the wrong one. He does not open the right door while you are still chasing the wrong one, and He does not bring your person until you become ready to receive them. So what you are feeling right now, the confusion, the detachment, the quiet changes inside you, it's not random. It's not just pain. It's a sign, a powerful sign that Allah is preparing you for someone written just for you. And once you see these signs, you will never look at your situation the same way again. Allah is removing the people you thought you couldn't live without. There was a time when you truly believed that certain people were your everything. You thought about them constantly. You imagined your future with them. You felt like your happiness depended on their presence in your life. And deep inside, you told yourself, I can't lose this person. I won't be okay without them. But then, slowly, things began to change. The same person who once gave you attention started pulling away. The conversations became shorter. The effort became less. The care you once felt started to disappear. And you found yourself trying harder, giving more, hoping to bring back what was slowly slipping away from your hands. You kept asking yourself, what changed? But the real question was never what changed. It was what Allah is changing. Because sometimes Allah shows you a connection, not to keep it in your life, but to reveal something inside you, to show you your attachment, to show you how deeply you can feel. And then He removes it, not to break you, but to protect you from building your future on something that was never written to stay. You see, the hardest truth to accept is this: the people you thought you couldn't live without were never meant to stay forever. And if they were truly written for you, you would not have to chase them. You would not have to beg for their presence. You would not feel confused about where you stand with them, because what is written by Allah comes with clarity, not confusion. So when someone starts leaving your life, when the connection becomes heavy, when you feel like you are the only one trying, this is not just a random ending. This is Allah gently, or sometimes painfully, removing what is not meant for your future. And yes, it hurts. It hurts because your heart was attached. It hurts because you had hopes. It hurts because you saw a future that is now disappearing. But listen carefully. That pain you feel is not the end of your story. It is the beginning of your protection. Because if Allah allowed that person to stay, they might have hurt you in ways you cannot even imagine. They might have taken you further away from peace, further away from your deen, further away from the person you are meant to become. So Allah removes them now, before they become a permanent part of your life, before the damage becomes deeper, before your heart becomes completely dependent on something that was never yours. And what feels like loss right now is actually space being created, space for something real, space for someone who will not make you question your worth, space for a connection that will not leave you confused or empty or chasing. So do not look at their leaving as rejection. Do not think, I wasn't enough. Instead, understand this powerful truth. Allah removed them because they were not right for you. And the person written for you will never need to be forced, never need to be chased, and never make you feel like you are hard to love. So let them go. Even if your heart still wants to hold on, even if your mind keeps going back to the memories, trust that Allah sees what you cannot see, and He is not taking something good away from you. He is making sure you don't settle for something less when something better is already being prepared. Your emotions are being tested so you don't lose yourself in love. There are moments in your life when your emotions feel stronger than your control. You feel deeply. You care deeply. And when you connect with someone, you don't do it halfway. You give your attention, your time, your energy, your heart. And at first, it feels beautiful. It feels like something real is growing. But then, something changes. The same connection that once felt easy starts to feel uncertain. You begin to overthink. You start checking your phone more often. You wonder why their energy feels different. You replay conversations in your mind, trying to understand what you did wrong. And slowly, without even realizing it, you begin to lose yourself. You start adjusting your behavior just to keep them close. You hide your true feelings so you don't push them away. You accept less than you deserve just because you are afraid of losing them. This is the test, not the person, not the situation, but your emotions, because Allah is showing you something very important before the right person enters your life. He is showing you what happens when you let your emotions control you instead of guiding them with strength and awareness. You see, love is not meant to make you anxious every day. It is not meant to make you question your value. It is not meant to turn you into someone who is always chasing, always worried, always unsure. That is not love. That is emotional attachment without balance. And if Allah gave you the right person while you are still in this state, you might lose them too. Not because they were wrong, but because you were not ready to hold love in a healthy way. So Allah allows you to go through these emotional tests. Moments where you want to chase, but you learn to step back. Moments where you want to react, but you learn to stay silent. Moments where you feel like you are losing control, but you slowly learn to hold yourself together. This is not weakness. This is training. Allah is teaching you how to feel deeply without losing your dignity, how to care without becoming dependent, how to love without forgetting yourself. Because the person written for you will not require you to beg for attention. They will not make you feel insecure every day. They will not push you into a state where your emotions are always unstable. But for you to receive that kind of love, you must first become emotionally strong. You must learn how to stay calm even when your heart feels heavy. You must learn how to walk away from confusion even when your feelings are strong. You must learn that your value does not decrease just because someone cannot see it. And this is why Allah tests your emotions, not to break your heart, but to build your strength, not to make you cold, but to make you balanced, not to stop you from loving, but to teach you how to love in the right way. So the next time you feel overwhelmed, the next time your heart starts pulling you towards something that feels uncertain, pause. Ask yourself, am I losing myself trying to hold on to this? Because the love that is written for you will never require you to lose who you are to keep it. Allah is raising your standards so you stop accepting less. There was a time when small things used to impress you. A little attention, a few kind words, someone simply showing up, and you felt like it was enough. You ignored the signs, you overlooked the red flags. You convinced yourself, maybe this will become something real. But now, something inside you is changing. You are starting to see things more clearly. You notice inconsistency faster. You feel when someone is not serious. You recognize when effort is missing, even if the words sound nice. And what once felt exciting now feels empty. This change is not random. This is Allah raising your standards, because before Allah gives you something real, He teaches you how to recognize what is not real. He opens your eyes so you don't fall for temporary feelings again. He sharpens your understanding so you don't confuse attention with care or words with actions. You begin to realize that not everyone who enters your life deserves to stay, that not every connection is meant to grow, that just because you feel something does not mean it is right for you. And this realization can feel uncomfortable at first, because now you can no longer go back to accepting less. You can no longer ignore disrespect. You can no longer pretend that inconsistency is okay. Your heart starts rejecting what it once tolerated. And sometimes this makes you feel alone, because fewer people meet your standards now. Fewer connections feel right. Fewer situations feel worth your energy. But listen carefully. This is not loss. This is protection, because the person written for you is not average. They are not someone who will confuse you. or make you question where you stand. They will meet you with the same level of respect, effort, and sincerity that you are learning to value. So Allah raises your standards first, so that when the right person comes, you don't settle for less out of loneliness. You don't accept confusion out of fear. You don't lower yourself just to keep someone in your life. Instead, you recognize what is real and you hold on to it with clarity and peace. And the most powerful part is this: raising your standards is not about becoming difficult. It is about becoming aware of your worth, aware of what you deserve, aware of what brings peace and what only brings temporary feelings. So if you feel like you are no longer impressed by the same things, if you feel like your heart is rejecting what it once accepted, if you feel like you are walking away from things you once would have held on to, do not question it. This is Allah preparing you, because the person written for you will never require you to lower your standards to keep them. You are learning to be complete alone before you are chosen. There was a time when being alone felt heavy. Silence made you uncomfortable. You always felt like something was missing, like you needed someone in your life to feel complete. You looked for connection, for attention, for someone to fill that empty space inside your heart. And because of that, you were willing to hold on to people who were not right for you, not because they were good for you, but because you did not want to feel alone. But now, something is slowly changing. You are starting to sit with yourself more. You are learning how to spend time alone without feeling empty. You are beginning to understand your own thoughts, your own emotions, your own needs. At first, it feels strange. Sometimes it still feels quiet, even a little lonely. But deep inside, there is also a growing sense of calm. You are no longer desperate for someone to complete you. You are no longer chasing connection just to escape loneliness. Instead, you are learning how to be whole on your own. And this is one of the most powerful signs that Allah is preparing you. Because if you enter a relationship while feeling empty, you will depend on that person for your happiness. You will expect them to fix your loneliness, to fill your void, to give you constant attention. And when they cannot do that perfectly, it will hurt you. It will create pressure, expectations, and emotional imbalance. But when you learn to be complete alone, everything changes. You no longer need someone, you choose them. You no longer fear losing people, because you are already at peace with yourself. You no longer accept less just to avoid being alone. This is the kind of heart that is ready for something real, because real love is not built on need. It is built on peace. It is built on two people who are already stable on their own, coming together without pressure, without desperation, without fear. And that is why Allah allows you to experience this phase, a phase where you feel alone, so you can discover yourself, a phase where you are removed from distractions, so you can rebuild your inner peace, a phase where you are not given what you want immediately, so you can learn that your happiness does not depend on anyone else. And slowly, you begin to feel it, that quiet strength, that calm independence, that ability to sit alone and still feel okay. This is not loneliness anymore. This is growth. This is wholeness. So do not rush out of this phase. Do not try to fill the silence with the wrong people, because what Allah is building inside you right now is far more valuable than temporary company. And when the right person finally enters your life, you will not come to them as someone who is empty and searching. You will come to them as someone who is already complete. And that is the kind of love that lasts. The doors you keep forcing are being shut to protect your future. There are moments when you feel like, if I just try a little more, maybe it will work. So you reach out again. You send that message. You give another chance. You tell yourself this time will be different. You hold on, even when everything inside you is telling you that something is not right. But no matter how much effort you put in, it still doesn't open. The conversation feels forced. The connection feels heavy. The same problems keep repeating, and you find yourself stuck in a cycle, trying harder, hoping more, but getting the same result. This is where most people make a mistake. They think, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I need to be more patient. Maybe I just need to hold on a little longer. But the truth is, sometimes the problem is not your effort. The problem is that you are trying to open a door that Allah has already closed. And no matter how hard you push, no matter how much you want it, what is not written for you will never stay open. You see, when something is truly meant for you, it does not feel like a constant struggle to keep it alive. You will not feel like you are the only one holding it together. You will not feel like you have to lose your peace just to maintain the connection. But when a door is not meant for you, it becomes heavy, it drains your energy, it confuses your mind, it takes your peace away, and still, you try to force it open because your heart is attached, because you saw a future, because letting go feels harder than holding on. But listen carefully, that closed door is not rejection, it is protection. Allah sees what you cannot see. He knows what that connection would turn into if it continued. He knows the pain it could bring you later. He knows how it could affect your heart, your peace, even your relationship with Him. So He closes it now, not because you are not good enough, but because it is not good for you. And sometimes, Allah closes a door again and again until you finally stop trying to open it, until you finally understand, if it was written for me, I would not have to force it like this. The right door, the one meant for you, will not require this struggle. It will open with ease. It will come with clarity. It will bring peace, not confusion. You will not feel like you are chasing it. It will come towards you. So if you keep facing closed doors in your life, if you keep trying and it still does not work, do not take it as failure. Take it as a sign that Allah is guiding you away from something that is not part of your future. And what you are losing right now is not the door to your happiness. It is the door that was blocking you from it. Your heart is being cleansed from attachments that would break you. There was a time when certain people lived in your mind all day. You would think about them constantly, replay conversations, remember small details, and feel a deep emotional pull toward them. Even when they were not in your life anymore, they were still in your heart. You tried to let go, but it felt impossible. Every memory brought emotions back. Every reminder pulled you again. And no matter how much you told yourself to move on, your heart kept going back. But now, something is slowly changing. You still remember them, but it doesn't hurt the same way. You still think about them, but the feeling is not as strong. You still see the memories, but they no longer control you. It is not sudden. It is not loud. It is quiet, a slow release, a gentle detachment. This is not you forgetting. This is Allah cleansing your heart, because some attachments feel like love, but they are actually chains. They keep your heart stuck in the past. They stop you from moving forward. They make you hold on to something that is no longer part of your life, but still has power over your emotions. And if those attachments stayed strong, they would break you. They would keep you waiting for someone who is not coming back. They would make you compare every new person to someone from your past. They would stop you from fully accepting what is written for you. So Allah begins to remove that attachment slowly, not all at once, because your heart could not handle that, but step by step, feeling by feeling, memory by memory. He weakens the hold it has on you until one day you realize you are no longer emotionally tied the way you used to be. And this can feel strange because for so long, that attachment felt like a part of you. Letting it go feels like losing something important. But in reality, you are not losing something. You are being freed from something, freed from emotional weight, freed from false hope, freed from a connection that was not meant to stay, because the person written for you deserves a heart that is not divided, a heart that is not still holding on to someone else, a heart that is present, open, and ready. And Allah, in His mercy, prepares your heart for that. He removes what would block your future. He clears what would damage your peace. He heals what you thought would never heal. So if you feel that detachment happening, if you feel your heart slowly letting go, if you feel that what once controlled you no longer has the same power, do not fight it. Do not go back just because it feels familiar. Do not hold on just because it once meant something. Trust this process, because Allah is not taking love away from you. He is removing the wrong attachment so you can experience the right one. You are being taught to trust Allah's timing over your desperation. There was a time when you felt like everything needed to happen now. You wanted answers quickly. You wanted clarity immediately. You wanted the right person to come into your life without delay. And when things didn't happen the way you expected, your heart became restless. You started asking, why is this taking so long? Why hasn't it happened yet? Did I do something wrong? And slowly, that waiting began to turn into pressure. You felt like you were falling behind. You compared your life to others. You saw people around you finding love, getting married, moving forward, and it made you feel like you were being left behind. This is where desperation begins. Not always loud, not always obvious, but deep inside, you start feeling like you need something to happen soon, or you might lose your chance. And this is exactly what Allah is teaching you to let go of. Because what is written for you cannot be missed. It does not matter how late it feels. It does not matter how far it seems. It does not matter how many delays you face. If Allah has written something for you, it will reach you. And if it has not reached you yet, then it is still being prepared. You see, our timing is based on feelings. We want things when we feel ready, or when we feel lonely, or when we feel tired of waiting. But Allah's timing is based on wisdom. He knows when your heart is truly ready. He knows when the other person is ready. He knows when the situation will bring peace, not problems. And sometimes, if Allah gave you what you wanted too early, it would not work because you were not ready, or they were not ready, or the situation was not right. So instead of giving it to you too soon, Allah delays it, not to punish you, but to perfect it. And during this delay, He is teaching you something powerful. He is teaching you how to trust Him, even when you don't understand what He is doing. He is teaching you how to stay calm, even when your heart wants to rush. He is teaching you how to let go of control and believe that what is coming will come at the exact right time, because desperation makes you choose the wrong things. It makes you accept less. It makes you ignore red flags. It makes you hold on to people who are not meant for you just because you don't want to be alone anymore. But trust changes everything. When you truly trust Allah's timing, you stop chasing what is not meant for you. You stop forcing things that don't feel right. You stop worrying about when it will happen because you know it will. And your heart becomes lighter, calmer, more at peace. So if you feel like things are taking longer than you expected, if you feel like you are still waiting while others are moving forward, do not let that turn into desperation. Let it turn into trust, because the delay you are experiencing right now is not empty. It is preparation. And the timing you are questioning is the same timing that will make everything fall into place in the most perfect way. So be patient, not because you have no choice, but because you know Allah's timing will always be better than yours. That unexplainable peace is a sign something is already being prepared. There are moments when nothing around you has changed. Your situation is still the same. Your questions are still unanswered. And yet, something inside your heart feels different. It feels calm, not excited, not rushed, not desperate, just calm. You sit alone, and instead of feeling empty, you feel okay. You think about your future, and instead of feeling anxious, you feel a quiet hope. You don't know what is coming. You don't know when it will happen. But deep inside, you feel like something good is on its way. And the strange part is, you can't explain why, because logically, nothing has changed. But emotionally, everything feels lighter. This is not random. This is a sign, because when Allah is preparing something beautiful for you, He does not always show it to you immediately. Instead, He places peace inside your heart first, a calm that does not depend on people, a hope that does not depend on results, a feeling of trust without needing proof. This kind of peace is different. It is not temporary. It is not based on someone texting you or giving you attention or things going your way. It stays even when nothing is happening. And that is how you know it is from Allah, because Allah says He places tranquility in the hearts of the believers. And sometimes, before He gives you what you have been waiting for, He gives you this peace as a sign that it is already being arranged, that things are moving even if you cannot see them, that your story is being written even if you are still on a quiet page, this peace is also protection. It protects you from rushing into the wrong things. It protects you from going back to what you have already been saved from. It keeps your heart steady so you don't break your own progress. Because when you feel this calm, you no longer feel the need to chase. You no longer feel the urge to force something to happen. You are able to wait without feeling like you are missing out. And this is powerful because only a heart that trusts Allah deeply can feel peace in the middle of uncertainty. So if you feel this quiet calm inside you, if you feel hopeful, even without any clear reason, if you feel like your heart is at rest, even though your situation has not changed, do not ignore it. Do not question it. Hold on to it, because this peace is not empty. It is a message, a gentle reassurance from Allah that what you are waiting for is already being prepared. And when it finally arrives, you will understand why your heart was made to feel this calm long before it came. Before you leave, raise your hands for a moment and let your heart speak to Allah. Ya Allah, you see what we hide in our hearts. You know the pain we never explain to anyone. You know the names we whisper in silence and the tears we hold back at night. Ya Allah, if we are holding on to someone who is not written for us, then gently remove them from our hearts, not in a way that breaks us, but in a way that heals us. Ya Allah, purify our love. Remove every attachment that distances us from you and replace it with something that brings us closer to you. Ya Allah, do not let us chase what is not meant for us, and do not let us settle out of loneliness or desperation. Protect our hearts from choosing what looks right but is not right for our future. Ya Allah, prepare us for the person you have written for us. Make us emotionally strong, patient, and sincere. Fix what is broken inside us and make our hearts peaceful before you bring someone into our lives. Ya Allah, if the person written for us is still far, then prepare them as well. Guide them, protect them, and bring them closer to you before you bring them closer to us. Ya Allah, write for us a love that is pure, a connection that is halal, a relationship that is full of peace, respect, and barakah. Ya Allah, do not make us wait without reward, and do not delay what is good for us without wisdom. Give us the patience to trust your timing, even when we don't understand it. Ya Allah, replace our confusion with clarity, our pain with peace, and our waiting with something more beautiful than we ever imagined. Ya Allah, when the right person finally comes into our life, let it be easy, let it be calm, let it be something that strengthens our deen, not weakens it. Ya Allah, grant us a spouse who will be the coolness of our eyes and make us the coolness of theirs. Ameen.